How did he turn it around in that second half?
Well, the whole team played with a lot more intensity, Tommy. I think the substitutions made a vital difference. Introduction of Lookman down left-hand side. Although he didn't always get everything right, he was a key part of the winning goal. Perez added something. He was the third substitute. Immediate action at half-time.
Made two at half-time, didn't he?
Bringing
Lookman
Daka on.
Daka,
yeah, because I thought Albrighton and Barnes had been low-key in the first half. Barnes missed a brilliant chance. One-on-one clean through, didn't take it. So he made decisive decisions, and the team played with more intensity, and they took the game to PSV, and then they had the reliance of the two centre-backs, particularly Fofana, who was great, and they were rarely troubled in the second half and deserved to win in the end. Probably their best performance in Europe, I'd say, this season.
They were aggressive and they played some really good football. We're going to see those goals now. The first one's a cracker. Maddison gets it, and he was one of the guys that did stand up of those players that started the game, Brian.
Yeah, he was better, though, playing towards the centre. They changed his formation slightly to accommodate him. He's playing ahead of the two holding midfield players in the second half. Great run by Perez. He spent a long time holding and waiting for that run to make sure he wasn't offside. You see here, he's holding his run. He knows the danger of running offside. At times to pass well, and then the Gutierrez leaves Maddison. He'd been watching him in the middle of the field. Ramallah got sucked in. Gutierrez goes over, dives, goes to ground, and Maddison gets in. I think he gets a little slight deflection, maybe off Goetze, takes her up over the goalkeeper. But a very good goal, well constructed, and the attacking players made a difference.
He had 6 shots on the night, James Maddison. He's actually their top scorer this season, obviously with Vardy's injury issues with 14 goals. So he's been doing his bits through it all.
He has, but not as consistently as they expected.
Not a striker, obviously.
And he's been playing more of a wideish player. The number 10 is the position he wants to play in, floating around off the front, feeding Vardy. But because they've been weak in midfield, they've asked him to do a bit more, play a bit deeper, closer to Tielemans with Dewsbury Hall. But in the second half, needs be was that he had to get in and get more involved. That's what I felt was required. The manager must have thought the same, because he moved him into a more central position just ahead of the other two, and he was much more effective there.
The winning goal then it's a beautiful move.
Brilliant
Brian. It's lovely football and loads. There was a real.
Castagna does well initially, and here's Lookman, and there's Maddison's available. And then Dewsbury Hall comes over, and they drag all the midfield players from PSV over. He continues his run. And look at the big space where the 4 Leicester players are coming into the box. Daka's shot wasn't brilliant. Goalkeeper makes the save, but because Pereira is up there, so 2 centre midfield players again, Sagna and Gutierrez get dragged into that little interchange of constructive passing.
Look at the blue shirts.
So
the number of blue shirts.
4 blue shirts in the box, and Pereira's the right back, and he's up there to finish it off very beautifully and calmly. It was a wonderfully worked goal.
You could have said that defended them if they had said, right, we've got it to 1-1. Let's be cautious. Let's not give away a goal up the other end and sit in and get extra time. But they absolutely just went for it.
The momentum was with them. They could feel it. And I think the PSV fans and team felt that the game was drifting away on them, that they just had added an extra dimension to their play. There was an energy about them, the freshness of the front three. I mean, it's a big one to start with a front three and change the whole front three in the second half. But it does show you now that he's a bit more depth than he had when they had the injuries all season. And I looked at it at half-time and said, yeah, he has a few good options to put on now. He used them. It turned out very well for them. You can see the light at the end of it, how much it means to keep your season running, even if it is the 3rd most important competition at European level. It still means a lot for Leicester. There haven't been that many years where Leicester have been in European football so late in the year.
That's a huge thing to take out of this, Brian, because when they introduced this tournament, people are obviously a bit cynical about why it's been brought in. Would people care about it? Like those Leicester players, Brendan Rodgers.
Stadium's packed, hugging and kissing at the end of the match as if it is a major competition. And for PSV, they go off to play in the cup final the weekend with Ajax. But for Leicester, very much keeps the season running. That looked like it was petering out.
Yeah, indeed, certainly isn't now. They are through to European semi-final. They will play the winners of that Roma-Bodo Glimt tie.